Hi there and welcome to Edcast. In this episode we're going to look at how to use the VLOOKUP function. It's actually a really versatile function. We're just going to look at one of the ways in which you can use it to start with, and then we'll build on it in the future. So I'm going to use what should be a relatively familiar example with you now, which is our salespeople. So we've got our salespeople down the left hand side and we've got our sales volumes down the right hand side. And what we can use VLOOKUP for is basically to go through this list and return the sales volume based on the name that we enter. And you can think of all sorts of examples where this might be useful. If you're maybe building a pricing system, you want to work out what the price is for a particular product of interest based on the name of it. It's a good way of using data which is stored in a tabular format and then kind of moving it into our calculations. But again, for the purposes of this example, I'll just keep it simple. So basically, what I want to be able to do down here is, based on this data at the top, so this data here, I want to be able to return down underneath the sales volume based on the name that I type into this cell here. So if I just title this with typed in name, and I'll just change the colour of this cell as well, just so we can see that it's something I'm going to type in. Change it to a pale yellow colour. So there we go. And then what I'm going to put over here is returned sales volume. So returned sales volume. Return sales volume. So the way that this works is in here we're going to say VLOOKUP. Now it's VLOOKUP because it returns from a vertically orientated table. There is an HLOOKUP as well, which does exactly the same thing but the other way around, but I'm going to stick with VLOOKUP for now. And the first argument in a VLOOKUP function is the number that you want to, the word or number or value that you want to search for. In this case, it's going to be our typed in name, which is blank, but I'll select it anyway. It's going to go in this cell. So A8. The second argument is a range which represents the table that we're going to look through to find this name that we're going to type in. Now the first column in this range has to be the data that you're trying to match. So we're looking for a name. The first column in this range is a name, so that's great. So I'm going to select all of it, both the name and the sales volume. The third argument is the column that the data is in that we want to return. So it's the sales volume that we want based on the name that we enter. The name's in the first column, the sales volume's in the second column. So I want the number 2 just there. Now there is a fourth argument which I'm just going to set to false, and you'll have to trust me on for now. But it's basically about, does it find the nearest match or does it have to find an exact match? Well, I'm going to specify that it has to find an exact match, so I'm going to put false in there, and that's it. Now we can see it says not applicable at the minute. That's because I haven't typed a name in. So if I select this cell and type rows, then as you can see, what it's done is looked through this list to find the word rows. It's then looked over and seen that rows' sales volume is 55. And that's the number that it's returned down here. Likewise, if I type Sandy in, it would look down this list, find the word Sandy, and return the second piece of information from that row, which is the sales volume of 67. So there we go, really simple way of using VLOOKUP. It has loads of uses, and you can put it into some really quite complex models and things, and it can do some really good stuff. But like I said, this is a simple example, and I'll build on this over time. So hope you found that useful, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.